Hey everybody, welcome to my Monday night live. Hope everybody's doing well. Awesome. I see you, Randy. How are you guys doing tonight? Appreciate everybody coming into the live last week. It was really nice to see everybody and talk to everybody again. I do have the link posted in chat for anybody that wants to come in and talk tonight. I do have an outline. Hey, Ken, Randy, looks like you two are the only ones in here so far. So, but like I said, everybody can see by the thumbnail and the description. Topic is EDC tonight, of course. I'm going to wait for a little bit for some more people to get in here. But yeah, I thought it'd be a fun topic to talk about. It's such a universal topic. It's very customizable and very personal for everybody to carry EDC. So I think it's a good topic. I really enjoy watching videos on people's EDC. Thanks, Randy. Appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate everybody giving me thumbs ups and subscribing if you haven't. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Hey, Ashley, how are you? Didn't figure you'd be in here tonight. So, yeah. Yeah, we got a couple people in here. I'll wait a few more minutes here. Just basic guide outline tonight. It's nothing huge. Just talking about my personal EDC, and by no means is it an EDC I recommend everybody carry. Like I stated earlier, EDC is definitely customizable. Gosh, I can't even speak tonight. On personal convenience, self-reliance. I mean, preparedness, where you live. Some countries, you can't have certain size blades on knives and yada, yada, yada. So I never tell anybody what they need to carry for EDC. I usually like seeing people share what they carry. And then that way you can adapt and change, what you would like to change. I usually keep a lot of the same things. I may add or take away, but for the most part, my EDC is pretty much the same all the time. Unless I go on a hiking trip or something, I'll change it up. But hey, Matt, how are you doing tonight? Thanks for coming in, buddy. Your EDC is non-existent, Ken. Yeah, a lot of people, everybody has a basic EDC. EDC goes for your wallet, your keys, your phone. Those three items are given for most every guy and woman for that fact. Then you can go as far as I have chapstick or Carmex I take, and main reason I use Carmex in a tube is you can use it for fire starting as well. There's lots of things that are double rolled items that you can use for different things. So a lot of people don't carry EDC, but everybody does carry EDC. There's items. EDC's obviously everyday carries what it stands for, and everybody knows that. But there's always basic items that you can't leave home without. So those are technically EDCs. I carry more than I probably should. A lot of people do, but it's basic what I feel. A lot of people carry a lot more than what I do. Let's see here. Can you explain EDC stands for? Yeah, EDC is everyday carry, is all EDC stands for. And it's things that you carry every single day is considered your EDC. Now, I carry a lot more. Obviously, EDC is part of what's in your pockets or a woman's purse, or my EDC consists of, I rock a really nice military style fanny pack that has a conceal compartment for your personal protection. I can fit all my EDC in here, my wallet, my keys, every single piece of my EDC except for I do carry a first aid kit in both of our vehicles. I always have a cup with the water or drink in it that I can put water in, boil water if I need to. Um, you know, there's lots of things that you can consider as EDC. So let's see here. I wish I could. Unfortunately, I can't do 2 work. I don't even wear a wedding ring. Oh, wow. Yeah. There's a lot of jobs that are like that, that you can't wear anything. And a lot of EDC I consider even, I mean, you don't want to leave your wallet and your keys in your car, obviously, or your personal protection you'd leave at home, but things that you can even leave in your car, I consider EDC if it's in a pouch. Like this is my fanny pack. And if I'm hiking or changing up, I do have a uh, a Glock military style bag that has a concealed compartment in it for my personal protection, and I can fit everything in my bag too, depending on what I'm doing. I like wearing my fanny pack, and I like taking my backpack and just throwing in the truck with me when I go somewhere, the car. So um, there's a lot of things. I mean, your EDC is even what carry in your pockets. Like I said, people say all the time to me that I don't have EDC. Well, everybody has EDC. There's, your car keys, your wallet, and a lot of guys, like you said, Ken, that you can't carry a lot of things, but most guys have pocket knives. Those are basic things that most guys, you know, ink pen, that's EDC. Um, I always have some kind of lighter. I have a lighter that I carry, not always this one. This is my butane lighter, but I have a Bic lighter as well in my EDC bag. But if anybody has any questions, they can drop questions or comments in the comment section, of course, as we go along here. But like I said, I'm pretty much going over my EDC here. I guess I could officially start going over the EDC. We've been in here long enough. So as far as, like I said, my 2 bags, either my fanny pack, and it's got a zipper compartment here on the back. And this is a Highland Tactical fanny pack. It's really nice. It's got a front pocket here. It's got a secondary pocket right behind it. And then it's got a third conceal pocket for your personal care, for your personal protection. So this is a really good fanny pack. It's really nice. I like it. Pretty manly looking. So, and then this is a Glock bag with concealed compartment, and it's got a ton of compartments. So I like this bag. And then I've got an extra light that's got a glass breaker on it, built-in carabiner, extra light. Whoa, that's really bright. I forget how bright that is. Sorry, guys. But it's got a red light, strobing light. It's got a lot of cool features on it. But yeah, I usually start out with a bag or just what's in your pockets. For a lot of guys, it's just what they carry on their person. That's your EDC as well. You don't have to have a bag. I like mine in a bag because all my EDC fits in my fanny pack or my backpack. So I started off with my bags. Of course, the backpack is a Glock one. I think I told you that. Highland Tactical on the fanny pack. I love it going on a small hike or something, or fanny pack, or if you can go in places that you can carry if you have a personal protection that you can carry, shopping or whatever. I like carrying with me a lot, or I'll carry it on my person. Then next, what I usually consider your pocket EDC, like I said before, is your wallet, some kind of little flashlight, usually with a clip on it that you can, or it doesn't have to, just a little flashlight. Obviously, your keys. I have a little thermometer on my keys. I carry a little knife sharpener on my keys as well. I carry on my person usually most of the time is, like I said, a tube of Carmex. And the tube of Carmex is awesome, like I said, for fire starting, chap lips. I mean, a million different uses for Carmex. It's pretty much Vaseline. So, um, and I always have it in the tube so I can utilize it more. So, like I said, you can double up on or triple up or whatever on certain items. Obviously, most guys can't go without a knife. So, this knife is a crescent. Whoa, almost dropped it. Pretty nice. I don't have the specs. I meant to get the specs on it today, but it's got a clip and everything. Fits real nice in your pocket. But and it's got a 90-degree spine on the back, so you can use it on a ferro rod too if you need to. Most guys carry a pocket knife. For women, I always recommend pepper spray for their personal protection. Works really good. You can use it for animals, people, anything. Works really good. So that's mostly my pocket. If you want to throw a ink pen or a pencil into your pocket EDC, it's in my EDC. I've got them in our cars, my truck, my EDC bag. I always carry a pen. You're always needing something to write with. I also recommend a notepad of some sort or some kind of paper to go with the pen, obviously, because you need something to write with, at least sticky notes. But little notepad fits in the back of that little zipper pocket on my fanny pack really well. My work is like that too. Yeah, Matt, a lot of work, so you can't carry anything. They only let you carry pocket knives. So yeah, first aid kits is a great idea. Yeah, Matt. Yeah, my first aid kits, like I say, we always try to keep one in the car and in the truck. When I'm backpacking, I always have one in my backpack. I usually always have at least a small, what I call a boo-boo first aid kit. Um, Not every one of mine have a tourniquet in it, but the one in my backpack does have. Um, but yeah, mostly I'll go over the rest of my items too. But I do like hearing, like you said, Matt, for the first aid kit. Yes, I highly recommend everybody at least have it in their cars. It's nice to be able to have it in a bag that you can grab, to have a small one in a bag when you go. If you have to leave your vehicle, you'll have a little first aid kit with you. Let's see here. 210 is a 210. Is that knife a liner lock? No, it's a Crescent brand, like the tools Crescent, like a Crescent wrench. It's made by Crescent. It's really nice, stainless. It's got spring assist on the knife. Really good. I've got several knives. I switch out my knife periodically. I don't always keep just one knife. I rotate my knives out. I've got several knives I like for carrying every day. That's a good question. Let's see here. Bear spray and a Leatherman in my truck. Yeah, bear spray and Leatherman. And that's what I was going to kind of go to on my next line here is I do have a multi-tool. This is a Guidesman multi-tool, really nice. And it comes with a really nice leather sheath, and it fits in my concealed compartment on my with my personal protection in my fanny pack as well. So I keep it in there. But it's really nice. It's not near as expensive as a Leatherman, but I would highly recommend. They sell them at Menards. They're somewhere around $30, but it's a lot like a Leatherman. Really, really good quality for $30. I have not found a multi-tool that works as good. It's got wire cutters on the really good quality tips. But what I like about this one, it's got the typical it's got a Phillips screwdriver, several openers on it. It's got both of your screwdrivers, your flat head and your Phillips. It's got your bottle openers, your cutter, can opener. It's got everything Leatherman has on it, or a Swiss Army. It's got a lot of the same tools Swiss Army has on it, and they're all really good quality. So you've got four, actually, you got 3 items on this side. You've got your 2 items on this side. You're all in your Phillips. But when you open it up on the outside, you have, which I really like, and all these lock in place. Bad thing about a lot of Leatherman or multi-tools, the saws don't lock. Well, I say Leathermans, most of those do lock, excuse me. It's the Swiss Army. Swiss Army, the saws don't lock. But um, most multi-tools and Leathermans like that do lock, which I like. And that's a pretty good size saw. I mean, you can cut a couple inch, and the teeth are pretty aggressive on it. I really like that they lock in place. And it really works pretty well. It's got the saw on that side. This side, it has a really nice pair of scissors. They're not cheap. They work really well. And then you can flip up the little spring so it actually works. It really works really well. But like I said, saw, scissors. This side here has a file, and then it's got a tape measure. I don't know if you can see that. I think you can. It's got a tape measure on that side. Like, you're not really going to use a tape measure, but I mean, if you needed to measure something small, you could. But the file would come in handy if you wanted to, and you could customize that however you want. I see people sharpening the ends of it and doing different things with it. So, I mean, a lot of different things you can do with it. Hey, Lefty, thanks for coming in. You have a funny joke about Menards. Some might have an appropriate, so I'll save it for later. Yeah, I appreciate that, Ken. Yeah, a lot of people have a problem with Menards, that's for sure. But ours here is pretty good, so I can't complain about it. And the main knife on this multi-tool is very, very nice, and it's very good size. It's got a 90-degree spine. It makes sparks really good off a ferro rod. But so yeah, I'm not trying to sell it or anything. It's just what I carry. I've lost a couple Gerbers. I gave up on spending the money on them, so $30, it's pretty good, really good deal. But yeah, multi-tool definitely highly recommended. But like I said, this is my EDC, what I carry. I'm nowhere near telling anybody this is what you should carry. What you should carry is personal for you, your area, what's legal in your state, city, country, just what you want to carry. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in any order. There's items I would highly recommend. Of course, nobody's going to leave home without their wallet, keys. I mean, that's a given. Your wallet and your keys are always with you. And nowadays, your cell phone, which I'm videoing with the cell phone, but of course, your cell phone is definitely something that everybody brings nowadays. Let's see here. Got to catch up on the. Ken, how do you live without him? Lefty saying hi to Lefty Randy. Let's see here. Bull Shoals. That's cool. Hey, Adam. Good to see you, brother. I think I've seen everybody share it on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate that a lot. I guess I'll move on after my multi-tool. This is something that I really enjoy. I use it on my YouTube videos a lot. My Google Pixel earbuds. I use them in most of my videos for my microphone and my headphones, obviously. But when you're sleeping at night, it's nice if you want to listen to some music. If you want to, whatever, your earbuds are awesome. And of course, when you're out and about, if you're in a doctor's office, at work, on your lunch break, it's real handy to have. I love my earbuds. I use them all the time. And and these earbuds, you can also use them as a power bank to charge your phone or whatever you need to. So this is a double roll, triple roll, quadruple roll. I mean, I use them for recording. And then that hand in hand with this, my Google Pixel phone, obviously, they go hand in hand with, which they work great together. And I've got the Google Pixel watch, which I use a lot. It's a a photo and video shutter for my camera, so I don't have to touch my camera to hit record or to stop record. Um, and I can see the video feed on my watch to make sure I'm in frame. I can zoom in, real handy. Plus, it does your heart rate. It does all the, Google bought Fitbit, so it does all your health monitoring. It does GPS. It tracks your hikes. So when I'm going hiking out, hammock camping or tent camping, um, I can mark my GPS locations. And with Google Pixel, and I know Apple does it, the phones is they have emergency messaging, GPS messaging. So if you don't have cell signal and you get hurt, you can send an emergency message, which is great. That's another very good benefit why I went with Pixel. Um, and these are all what I carry. I'm not recommending them to anybody. I mean, if you're an Apple person, it's great because Apple has the same thing. Um, just either you're going to be an Android or you're going to be an Apple person. That's or BlackBerry or whatever. So each their own. These are just items I carry. I'm not telling anybody to carry them or they need to carry them. Just given reasons why I personally like them and carry them. And like most of you guys in here, not all, but most of you guys in here are YouTube creators as well. So um, that's why I like things that help me with my video. And it's nice to be out and about. So I can set up my camera in a location and I can turn it on and off with my watch. I mean, things I like carrying make a lot of sense to me. Uh, I'm sure the same thing for you guys. I know Adam. I would assume you carry have your own EDC that's helps you in your role because being in law enforcement, I know I've been in security. I had to wear a duty belt and a sidearm too. So um, when you're in those type of roles, you have a lot more EDC, obviously, for your career or your job. Um, and when I was in construction, I carried a little bit different things, but mostly still the same things. I always carried a multi tool. I had a knife on me. Everything I have so far was pretty much the same. Of course, they didn't have the Google Pixel buds or the watch or the phone at that time, but uh, majority of my stuff is pretty much the same. I did go over a lighter. I usually have a Bic lighter in one of my bags, my vehicles, but also I found a lot more uses for one of these really nice butane lighters. It's not necessary, but it's really handy for YouTube for lighting things. And then it's got the telescopic tip. And of course, this one, not all of them, but this one you can move around and bend if you need it in a different location. I know a lot of guys on YouTube have the ones that have the solid shaft here that go up and down, but I mean, it's really nice. It's like 2400 um, whatever BTU I think it is. It's super hot, but yeah, good lighter. Not just you don't need one of these, but I use it for starting fires and different things. So it's really nice for lanterns and stuff to get up inside uh, stoves, so you don't have to burn your hairs off your fingers every time. That's why I carry that. So I have it. Um, and if something's wet or something, one of these butane lighters gets super hot, and if you don't have an accelerant or don't want to take the time, you can get it going with this. Um, I guess next, this is really small. It's in my fanny pack or in my back pocket, but I do, but I recommend to other people to carry a small personal hygiene kit. Number one, you need tweezers. Scissors are in my I use scissors all the time. Scissors are real important. Tweezers, obviously, for ticks, for splinters, uh, and then you've got your not only you got your fingernail clippers, but you got your side clippers. There's a file in here, a couple other items that's good for hygiene. So if you're in camp, you're sitting out on break, and you got a splinter, you need to clip your nails. You break a nail for a woman or a guy. I break nails or bend my nails back all the time. Personal hygiene kit is really great. Scissors, like I said, reason to have a hygiene kit, but I always carry one with me. I got that from my dad. My dad always carried at least fingernail clippers, and I always asked him why. And then he started carrying a Swiss Army knife that had his, the tweezers and all that in it. So, if you want to have a Swiss Army knife that has a lot of that, I mean, that's same thing too. But there's so much more, and that little personal hygiene kit just fits right in my bag. I mean, I love it. And of course, I don't leave home without painkiller. I've got Tylenol and ibuprofen I carry in a small little container with me all the time. I don't get near as many headaches as I used to get, but I have a lot of aches and pains with things that, as all you guys know, most of you guys know in here, you get older, you got to have Tylenol and ibuprofen with you. If you get a fever, have a headache, I always carry it. It's not very big, it's very light. That's what I carry. And then I've always got, like I said, I've always carry in with me in my vehicle some kind of container to drink out of with water. I I carry a lot of those sugar-free water flavoring packs, you know, just to keep hydrated. And then anywhere you go, um, most everywhere has water. Doctors' offices, everywhere's got water fountains. You can always fill your drink up. You go into restaurants, you can fill your drink up with water. You don't even have to buy soda and save $2. You know, there's a million reasons why you can carry a million different things. I'm not telling you to carry any of these. I'm just kind of sharing what a lot of people like to know what you carry. Of course, this tumblers, I don't, actually, it was a gift from our Ozark Electric Co-op. Um, every year they have an annual picnic. I think that's what we got last year, or umbrella last year. I don't remember, but um, yeah, that's pretty cool. But if you want a Yeti, you want Ozark Trails from Walmart, whatever your favorite cup is, take your cup with you. Save some money along the way each day. I mean, it's a good tip. A lot of guys I see on YouTube do the same thing. And this here you can put cold and hot. So you got your coffee in the morning, and then you got your water to keep hydrated through the day. And put soda in it, whatever you want. See, share it on Facebook, YouTube. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate you sharing the links. If any of you haven't given me a thumbs up, I appreciate a quick thumbs up for me. If anybody wants to come in, you're more than welcome to come in. I'm going to post the link in chat here again. But yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to come in and share or have any questions, let's see here. I'm trying to look at my outline to see what else I need to talk about. I talked about my bags, both I carry, my fanny pack, my backpack, pretty much all my gear. Like I told Matt and told you guys earlier, my first aid kits I keep in the cars. My backpack, obviously, I keep a first aid kit, small one in it. I don't have it in here. I think I took it out in the basement, but normally I have a little first aid kit in it. I would like to get me a real small one to put in my fanny pack, mainly Band-Aids and antibiotic ointment, small stuff that I can put in it, get a little bitty one, travel one that I can keep in there, mainly for cuts and nicks and splinters and that type of stuff. Just keep alcohol swabs or wipes wouldn't be too bad to keep in there too. Mainly, I mean, people scoff and laugh at scratches and cuts, but I mean, if you get it infected, I mean, you're out there working on something, you get it dirty. I mean, you can easily get an infection. So, I mean, most people say, "Oh, first aid kit that shouldn't involve Band-Aids and triple antibiotic ointment and that type of stuff, or burn cream or itch cream." If you get poison ivy or if you get a bug bite, I mean, itch cream's worth its weight in gold. You know, anti-burn cream, even a little aloe. They have those aloe pads that for burns, even for sunburns, or if you burn yourself on something hot. I mean, it's worth a lot of weight in gold, and that's where your painkillers in my book come in play too. Wouldn't be bad to keep anti-diarrhea medication in a first aid kit as well. Like I said, alcohol pads or swabs. There's a million things, you know. EDC is nothing new. Anything I carry is nothing new. I've adapted mine kind of through my dad, through other YouTubers I watch, and when I see, like our meetup and see what other people carry and what other people use on a daily basis, I'm like, well, that's a good idea. I haven't thought of that. There's a lot of things. Um, I carry quite a bit. You don't have to carry. You can just carry keys, your wallet, and a knife. You don't. You don't have to carry anything. EDCs. A lot of people have hair. You're going to want to carry a comb or a pick or whatever. I mean, you're going to want to carry something with you during the day that you can stay well groomed, especially if you're in an office setting or something that matters. I've always been in construction or outdoors, so throwing a hat on was always my go-to if I wanted hair. When I had hair, I never really carried a comb. I just had a hat. I just threw it on, so I didn't have to worry about it. But most of all my life as an adult, I've kept my hair short, so I didn't have to worry about it. Drilling out a house and all the sawdust, I didn't want to have to worry about getting in my hair or my hat or whatever. So, I mean, yeah, sunscreen. That's another thing I'd add to your first aid. Um, that's a real important thing. Bug spray, first aid kit. A lot of people carry hand lotion in their vehicles. I've noticed, and we do too. Um, Skin So Soft from Avon is a good bug repellent, so that's another um, item that doubles up as double usage is it's really good against ticks and mosquitoes. So uh, hand lotion's a good one because you can get a lot of hand lotions that have eucalyptus mint or eucalyptus lemon too is good for mosquito repellent and tick repellent. So I mean, there's so many different things. Um, I really, like I said, I really enjoy watching videos on EDC. I know a lot of people don't, but if you're an outdoorsman or if you're a guy that likes to carry knives and carry different things and see what everybody else carries, um, I figured it's important. If nothing else, if somebody gets an idea from even what I carry, that's why I want, if somebody wants to come in and share what they carry, you're more than welcome to come in. Any of you guys, you don't have to, a couple at a time, one at a time, or you guys don't have to come in. I just figured I'd leave it totally open to you guys. And yeah, I mean, there's no right or wrong in my books on EDC. You'll get people arguing with you all the time. You need to carry this. You need to carry this. It'll save your life. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, possibly, but I don't tell anybody to carry anything in particular. Just like all the, you know, paracord bracelets. I have a couple, but I don't have them in my EDC. I mean, it's not something that you've got shoelaces on most of your shoes. If I really need cordage, I'll take my shoelaces out. Most of my shoes I can wear without shoelaces. So, I mean, that's just something I don't carry. You can carry it if you want. You can put it on your keychain, which I do have a paracord keychain that I sometimes switch out with this one. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So that's an item that I could suggest that if you want to carry. Um, in my opinion, it's not 100% necessary, like a tourniquet. You want to be able, carry stuff that's light. I usually have a belt. I have laces. I mean, if really worst comes to worst, I've got things on me that I can utilize to use for the same type of thing. Will it work as good as a tourniquet? No, but it will work in a pinch. And if you're hurt bad enough and somebody's near you, they can help you. So, I'm not looking at EDC just necessarily to save my life. My personal carry is more important to me than, that. Yeah. But I'm not my everyday, I'm looking at nicks, cuts, bruises, headaches, Am I sick to my stomach? Those type of things. Your EDC for your SHTF hits the fan. Sorry, I'm trying to get you in here, Matt. It's not letting me. Try back again, Matt. If SHTF happens, that's what your bug out bag's for. That's where your Israeli bandages, your tourniquets, your heavy first aid kits, more elaborate items. That's what my bug out bag would be for. Your EDC is going to be your very basic. Sorry, Matt, I don't know why it didn't let you in. If you'll try one more time. Trying to get you in, buddy. And click that link one more time, Matt. I'll get you in here. Kept hitting the button, but it wouldn't let you in. But yeah, that's my items. Like I said, all my items I can show you real quick. This first zipper here, I'll put my wallet in my Carmex. Okay, Matt, I got you. How about that? There you are. Hey, Matt. Let me turn the volume up. I don't have the volume up on my phone. Sorry. Can you hear me? You're in here, Matt. How are you? I can't hear you. Why can't I hear you? Let me look. Try that. I can't hear you. I got my volume all the way up. That's weird.
Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I guess it got muted when I logged in or something there.
Yeah, that mute's right there by it, so that's easy to hit. Appreciate you coming in, buddy.
Yeah.
I was just going over how I put everything in my little fanny pack here. Like I said, in this front little pouch here, is I put my wallet, my Carmex in my front pouch here. Second pouch, I put my Tylenol and ibuprofen in my front pouch here. Goes beside the secondary pouch is a pouch for, it's kind of a hidden pouch, but it's kind of for your personal protection. This third pouch, zippered pouch, I have my personal protection. And then, like I said, my multi-tool fits right in there beside my personal protection. People that don't believe in certain types of personal protection, I say, man, put you some pepper spray or bear spray in there, Then on top of my pouch here, I've got this webbing. You can put a flashlight in there, but it's perfect fit for my my pocket knife. Fits right up in here where I can get to it real easy. I love that. And then you still can put a flashlight with the little bungee cords on top. I do like that. My back pocket here, I put a lot of items. I put my my hygiene kit in there. My ballpoint pen goes in there. My keys go in there, and my earbuds go in that back pocket as well. It's a pretty good size pocket.
Yeah, I've been looking at that Google Pixel. That's pretty, because the thing I like about it is it has the ability to make that emergency call without signal. That's
Yeah, I like it. And like I said, Apple has the same option. Not everybody likes Apple. I'm not a huge Apple fan. Have no problem with it. I mean, I just don't. I'm a Android person, but like I said, I agree with you. I mean, that's a huge selling point for me because that knocks out. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Garmin InReaches and all those have other options and different things on them that you can do more on, but they're also $200-300, $400. So it's not necessary in my book.
Yeah.
If I was going out more remote mountain climbing and that stuff, yes, I would have a Garmin InReach with my watch and phone. But
Yeah, and as time goes on, they're always putting up more towers, so there's less and less spots where you don't have a signal.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing, is because everything runs on GPS now. So and everybody has a watch, or everybody has a phone. But not
Yeah,
everybody has a smartwatch, I guess. But everybody has a smartphone, and GPS is. I mean, that's a smart move for them, because you're already spending 8, 900, 1,500 dollars on these smartphones. Why not integrate them things in
yeah,
that safety feature, because that will sell the heck out of those items.
yeah. And I mean, looking at the prices of them, they're the price of a normal phone,
Yep,
and then you're not having to spend that extra, $200-300 or $300-400 for like a Garmin InReach or something like that.
yep, for sure. And I don't ever I don't ever tell everybody to try to sell anybody anything. That's not what my channel's about. Maybe
Yeah,
someday I'll do some reviews, but if I ever start doing reviews, I probably end up making a review channel just to do my reviews on.
yeah,
I don't want to go off on review channels, but um, like I said, I'm not selling any of these items. But if anybody wants to
yeah,
know what they are, I'll put all the items in the description. If anybody wants, I'm thinking about doing that anyways.
yeah.
Or
I
if
mean,
somebody wants, you know,
yeah, I do that. I mean, I've done a couple of reviews on little stuff, but it's been stuff that I thought was a good product or a good deal,
yeah. Well, and
because
you're not getting
this
anything
how
for it. That's a different story. If you're
yeah,
showing somebody a new item, of course you're gonna show them what it is, tell them what it is. But kind of like
yeah,
Luke, you don't care if they buy it or
right,
not.
right,
You know,
yeah, yeah,
it's not going to benefit you if they buy that item. And that's kind of where I'm at. These items work awesome for me, and I love them, and they make my life so much easier. Um,
right. Well,
and
it's like that power station that you'd shared with me the other day, in your video, and then you shared that link you had found.
Yep.
That's a great deal, I
Oh
mean,
man, you had to get the solar panels and that generator, and yeah, that's a thing I would highly recommend. I was really reluctant at first until I watched a couple other YouTubers um,
yeah.
do a review on it,
Well,
and
it looks so much like a Jackery,
yeah,
and I don't know if Jackery's made here in the States or not, but so many of those things are made
no,
overseas, so
yeah,
they're
they're all
probably
made in
branded
China.
as several different brands.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, nothing against it. I mean, if you've got the money to spend, $200-300 on one, go for it. Get your favorite one. I mean, I always tell people, but I'm never against cheaper Chinese items if they're good quality, and that is good quality. And I've used it several times and for several months now, and I've been blown away with it. So, until I need a higher wattage one, I would like to have an 800 or 1200-watt one down the road for when if I need to use it for off grid purposes or whatever. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
but I do have a 5,000-watt inverter for my vehicle. So, I mean, that will run anything I need. So, um,
Yeah.
what do you carry for your EDC?
I typically carry a folding knife and a pocket knife. Obviously keys and a phone,
Yeah.
and then let's see, keys, knife, flashlight. Um, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
I usually don't because of work. I can't carry personal protection, so
Yep.
you know.
Yeah, a lot of companies you can't, but that's why I say, if people say, well, I can't carry, well, they'll allow you to carry pepper spray or something like that. I mean, most places will.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah.
I
I do
did.
usually carry. Well, it's not pepper spray. It's bear spray, but I usually carry that with me if I'm out in the
Oh,
woods.
oh, it works
But
on
in
people.
a pinch, I'm sure it would work on a person.
Definitely, yeah. It definitely works on people, animals, everything. I mean, even if you're riding your bike, my dad used his pepper spray a
Yeah,
couple times on big vicious dogs, and it works.
yeah,
He said it works great. So, I mean, you hate to use it, but I mean, if you have to use it, I mean, you
Yeah,
have to
but I
use it.
mean, if it's trying to bite you, you gotta, nobody wants a dog bite. You know.
No, definitely not. I mean, yeah, and like I said, everybody that well, I hear people tell me, "Well, I'm not into EDC." I said, "Yeah, you are. Everybody's into EDC." Just like I asked Tony the other day, "What's an item?" Like on Tony's live the other night, what items you can't leave home without? That's your
Yeah,
EDC.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, 90% of the time, even even if I'm just in the house, not going anywhere, I've still got that stuff on me because it's just stuff that goes in my pocket when I get dressed.
yep. Yeah, and this time of year is a good thing too. I always carry the little uh, nasal inhalers to help me breathe better.
Yeah,
I have allergies really bad, and this is a brand that I'd highly recommend. It's called Boom Boom. It's all natural. I don't like sucking up the chemicals. Those a lot of
yeah,
those inhalers have harmful chemicals in it, and these are all natural. Um,
yeah.
really good nasal sticks, but I mean that's an EDC. I didn't add that, but I always have one of those on me.
Right.
But you know, I love it. I don't know why EDC's always um,
Yeah,
intrigued
it's
me.
yeah. Yeah, it's funny because a lot of people, kind of look down on it, especially like in the YouTube, content creator uh, realm. People kind of look down on it, but I've gotten several good ideas from other creators.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of people put it in the same category as prepping or that type of stuff, and a lot of people frown on prepping. I never tell people not to prep. I think you can go
Yeah,
overboard with it, in my personal opinion,
yeah,
but you should always be prepared for
yeah.
a week or two.
Well, yeah, at the very least, because natural disasters and stuff. I
Yeah.
know some friends, about a year ago now. We had a couple of tornadoes come through our area,
Mhm.
and a lot of people were just caught way off guard, and they lost everything,
Yep.
and we were able to help some people out because we had put back some extra stuff. It wasn't, it was just canned goods, rice, beans, stuff like that. But when you've lost everything, that you know
Yep, absolutely. We just went through the tornadoes here. It came close a couple weeks ago. Just come closest to our house than they ever have, and we were out of power. Uh, Not quite a full day, but we was out of a lot of our friends or family were out 2, 3, 4 days, even a week. So um, it happened real close to home here. And if I didn't have that inverter, our basement is unfinished and it started to flood because the sump pump wasn't running. So I just hooked up my inverter to my truck, just like you would a generator outside, ran a cord down and plugged in my sump pump and kept my sump pump going so my basement wouldn't flood. Of course, and then I hooked it up where I could hook up my refrigerator and my freezer so things wouldn't thaw out. So um,
yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Just not even a huge generator will sustain a freezer or something, because you don't have to run them solid. Like a freezer, you could run it for an hour a couple times a day and it'll be fine for
yep,
and in a refrigerator, I think most refrigerators you have to run them for every couple of hours,
yep,
maybe every 3 or 4 hours.
yep,
But yeah,
yeah, for sure. I mean, I know that ain't part of EDC, but it kind of goes in that realm that it kind of is because I
yeah,
have it set and ready at any moment's time. That
yeah. I think there's a lot of overlap between EDC and bushcraft and prepping, and a lot of it overlaps to me.
yeah, yep. And a lot of people's EDC involves haversacks and like Junkyard Fox, I know carries a haversack
Yeah,
and and it's kind of like haversack.
yeah,
Well, I'm not gonna carry a haversack. It's purse. Well, a backpack's the
yeah,
same thing. Some
yeah,
people don't like fanny packs. but you can carry a tarp in there, poncho for makeshift shelters.
Yeah.
You can get in more detail. I pretty much wanted to do my personal EDC that
Yeah.
minimal. Um, people go. You can
Yeah.
go
I
as
mean,
far
I
as
think,
yeah.
yeah, I think most of us have probably got a bag in our, kind of a go bag in our vehicle, where you've got, the five, at least like the five C's,
Yeah.
you know.
Hmm. Yeah, and if I don't have it in my one of my bags, we usually definitely have it in our vehicles. With my wife's car, we have a basket that fits in the back, and it has a first aid kit, jumper cables. It's got water. It's got blankets, and it's got all the things that our main bags don't have. We usually carry them in our vehicles. Like my truck, I like keeping my wool blanket in there because I mean, if you get stranded in the wintertime, you want a blanket to keep warm if you're not going to walk. Um, you need things in your vehicle, water, that type of stuff you break down. Um, I'm not going to necessarily carry everything. Maybe in my bug out bag I would, but I don't know why. I'm trying to catch up on my. I'm sure I missed a lot of comments, but I can't.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at that too.
I know my comments aren't working. Haven't been working for some time here. I'm trying to refresh
Um,
it. I've missed so many comments. Let's see here. Nice cup. Thanks, Herbert. I got him working again. Yep. I got Herbert's sticker. Got Randy's sticker. Got my new fancy stickers. I don't know if anybody's seen mine yet. Mine turned out pretty good. And I got Tony Random Adventures sticker. Let's see here. What else did I miss? I keep a bottle of bear back in the back and body in my toolbox. Replace it once a month. Yeah, that's a good idea, Ken. Yep. Sorry, guys. I've got a lot of comments. Feel like Tony from Random Adventures now. It takes him an hour. I carry a Frenzel lens. What is that? I know. Was that
I think
what
he's
is
trying to say Fresnel lens.
a what?
Fresnel lens.
Oh,
It's it.
is it like a magnifying glass?
Yeah, yeah, but essentially it does the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that might be what that meant. Hey, Daniel. Nice to see you, buddy. Let's see here. Here's what you should do and not shouldn't carry and works best for you in your situation. Yep, Ken, for sure. Definitely, whatever your situation is, whatever you want to carry. I'm never going to tell somebody what to carry and what not to carry. You carry what you want to carry. Let's see here. 210, what's a good way to talk with you off of YouTube? Um, that's a good question, Ken. Yeah, I don't have any social media at all anymore. I get so tired of social media. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Instagram. I don't have TikTok. I don't have Twitter. I'm not ever doing this is the only social media I'm ever going to do. So, Ken, let's see here. That's a good question. My email is going to be the best thing. I don't know if everybody should know where your about part of your YouTube channel is. My email is me210@live.com. So my email address is the only and best way to get a hold of me now is me210@live.com. So anybody need to get a hold of me, have any questions, want to exchange personal information, that's going to be the best way to get a hold of me. Thanks, Randy, for reminding people to give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that very much. Well, don't have very many thumbs up at the moment, didn't look like. Let's see here. I think it would be awesome if to join Mountain Man stuff. To join the Mountain Man stuff. Yeah, that would be fun. I love that show. Grab it from there. Still isn't refreshing to the newest comments. I think I'm caught up now. I might have missed a few others.
There's a which I'm sure most of you guys have probably seen. There's a movie called Jeremiah Johnson that's
Yes.
all about the mountain man stuff. Great movie, love it.
I didn't say hi to Herbert. Sorry, Herbert. And Ozarks Woodman's Matt. Hi. The haversack was a most important bag for the mountain. Yeah, haversack definitely was. Thanks, Randy. I appreciate you putting in my email there. I was going to do that, but I can't on this little screen here. I do have my tablet. I guess I could put it up on there. Appreciate you putting it up there.
Hey, 210.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm gonna jump out of here and let one of the other guys jump in there for a while. That way,
Okay, absolutely.
you
Thanks for hopping in
know.
here and sharing
Yeah,
with
no
me.
problem, man. Anytime.
Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah, guys, if anybody else wants to come in here, you're more than welcome to hop in here. I'll try to, hopefully I don't have any more issues with getting the guest in here, but if anybody wants to come in and share their EDC or share whatever, I'm trying to look over, pros and cons of things to use. I tried to go over that as I was going through it, but really, other than weight, I mean, I've got quite a few items, but it fits all in my fanny pack, and I'd say my fanny pack weighs 5 or 6 pounds. I'm guessing. I've never weighed it. Guess I should have weighed it for this live. That would have been a good thing to do too. But it's not very heavy. I can strap it on if we go on a little day hike. A lot of times when my wife and I go on a hike or walk with the dogs, or just going around town, if I'm going somewhere where I can carry everything that's in it, I usually take it with us. If nothing else, it's in the car with us, and then yeah, I usually take it. If I know ahead of time I can't take certain item I have with me, then I either leave it at home or what have you, or lock it in my vehicle. But I try not to leave them in my vehicle because I don't want the vehicle to get stolen. But I mean, it is what it is. They can break in your house and steal it at your house. So, um, you know, everyday carry is just what you want it to be. Um, You'll get a lot of trollers on here leaving comments saying, you don't need EDC. Well, everybody has EDC. Everybody has car keys in your wallet, minimum. Most people have a phone. You at least have 3 items in my book that you're going to carry. What you choose to carry addition to that is whatever you want to carry. Like I said, majority of mine makes sense for me and helps me, makes my day and my time better for me. And as a YouTube creator, like I said, the smartwatch is a great addition to my phone. It works great with my phone. My Pixel Buds work great for microphones. You don't have to buy a DJI microphone. They have noise canceling and they have transparency for voice. I mean, it's just what you want it. Like I said earlier, I know in the UK they're only allowed a certain size blade on their knife, so they usually have to conceal if they want to carry um, a bigger knife. Okay, here we go. Yeah, there you go. I think. Are you in here, Randy?
What's
There
up?
you are. Cheers, buddy. Cheers.
What's
How
going
are you?
on?
Oh, talking EDC.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been listening. I've been here.
I think your cups part of coffee's part of EDC in my books.
It is. It is. You know,
Moose.
one of the things I was thinking about uh, was medication. If somebody's
Yeah.
on medication, somehow you got to have that medication with you.
Yep.
If something goes wrong. So I don't know if
That's
that'd be
awesome.
EDC or not, but
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. Or your medical alert bands. Like my mom had a mitral valve and she's on blood thinner, and she had to daily wear her medical alert bracelet. And like you
yeah.
say, funny you say that, because my father-in-law, really, he was on a lot of medications, and it was awesome. I never knew they had, from his old hearing aid cases, was hollowed out, and he put all of his meds when we went on trips. in that little case. So he did carry his meds with him. My mom always had a little pouch that she carried. If she knew she was going to be gone, I always told her, plan on a full day of your meds just in case something happens and you're not home, but yeah, definitely great addition that I didn't think of. That didn't even get on my my outline, which I truly didn't think about it. I mean, I guess you could have put that in your first aid or your medical, but I mean that should be in my fanny pack if I was on meds I had to be on. Which for me personally, I didn't think about it because I'm not on life saving meds, I should say. For me.
Well, I
For
only
sure
thought
that.
about it because I had to get meds today for my not a hernia. What is it, man? The burning thing up in your gut.
Oh, ulcer.
Ulcer. Yeah.
Yep.
I
I
got an
remember you
ulcer
saying
up in
something.
there.
Sorry about that, buddy. I hate to hear that you had to get on that, but at least they figured it out what it was.
Yeah, I'm doctoring it with coffee.
Yep. I had a doctor's appointment today, actually, just a wellness checkup, but luckily I'm not on any medication. I guess, like I said, that's the main reason why I didn't even think of that. But I mean, that's why I say it's totally customizable for each individual to your personal needs. I mean, um, half the stuff I have, most people won't want to carry, but I've used them a million times, or other people's needed them. I say, hey, I've got fingernail clippers. Hey, I've got tweezers,
Yep. Yep.
I like it for that fact that, if you need to cut something, I've got my little scissors in my personal hygiene kit. I wouldn't even mind having a needle and thread in that little personal hygiene kit because, you never know. But, I mean.
I'm going to grab my other glasses.
Okay. Anybody got any questions or comments? You guys can put them in the comments section.
Okay.
I think I'm up to date on the comments. I don't know why my comments aren't updating on my tablet. I've got, like you say, on this phone, you can't see the comments very well. So
Yeah.
if I miss somebody's comments, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get them to refresh. I think I'm caught up, but not 100% positive.
I was going to tell you too. I don't know what happened with what's it, the two guys a while ago. But when I was on live with Nolan the other day, was it Nolan? No, yeah, I went into his chat. No, let's see. It was Byron. Byron's Baits. I brought him in, and then he accidentally kicked himself out. So he came back in, and then we couldn't hear him at all. And we couldn't figure it out. Well, come to find out what was happening is every time he would go out and come back in, his old one was still there. So I had to go in and kick out his old ones in order to hear him on his new one.
Yeah.
So just in case it happens to you again, that might be what's the problem.
Okay. Hey, Heather. I'm glad Matt made you come in. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you. Adam says, what's the name of your fanny pack? My fanny pack is called a Highland Tactical. And I believe my wife and I got it at TJ Maxx, if I'm correct. I'm not 100% positive. I've seen it there off and on, so I'm pretty sure that's where we got it. Tactical, or Highland Tactical is what the name of it is. And it's got a nice Velcro patch on the front for your patches. I have different patches I can put on it. It's pretty cool. It's got a little bit of webbing on the side to put extra stuff, gear on the sides too, but I like rocking a fanny pack. I'm not ashamed.
Yeah, I got one too. I carry most of my electrical stuff in it, but it's a Redhead brand.
Yeah, Bass Pro. So what do you carry every day, Randy?
I don't carry a lot. I don't think. I carry my phone. I carry my wallet, but in my wallet's got all my necessary stuff. ID, all that stuff.
Keys.
and then my truck keys, and that's about it.
Yep.
As far as on my Bing. In my
Yeah.
truck, I always in my truck door, I always have my bear spray, and I always have my Leatherman that Mike gave me, and I have my knife that Woodsman gave me. And I keep those things are always on the panel of my truck on the inside in case I run into trouble somewhere.
Well, I figure that, I add anything in your vehicle, anything in your daily routine as part of your EDC in my books, even in your vehicle, because you go in your vehicle, especially for people that only have one vehicle. Your EDCs, what's on your person, EDCs also what's in your bag, or EDCs what's in your vehicle, because you don't go anywhere without your vehicle. So all that in my books is part of your EDC. And good thing about your vehicle is you can put all those extra items. I'm YouTube creator, you are too. We camp a lot. A lot of times you have extra items in your vehicle from campouts. I always have toilet paper in there. You can blow your nose. If you have an emergency, you could use it for that. Fire starting. I've got my Carmex. You can add to your toilet paper and make your fire starters that way too. There's a million different things. People,
I would think. Go ahead.
Herbert says an EDV, EDC, but everyday vehicle. Yep.
Yeah. Now, this might sound kind of dumb, but because when I think of EDC pack, I think of like a survival pack.
Yep.
So in my mind, I would think, I don't know if there even is such a thing, not vitamins, but some sort of like protein pills, or I know there's something, but I don't know what it is, where if you're not able to eat for a while, you can take and get you some nourishment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
But I don't know what it is, but.
Huh. What the heck is this thing doing? I ain't touching my phone again.
What happened?
Yeah, that would be a lot of people that are like diabetic or pre-diabetic always have like crackers or granola bars or candy bars in their car. So I wouldn't recommend candy bar, but yeah, something to snack on is definitely, like, we keep bottled water in our vehicles usually. Herbert said gum. Yeah, that's a good thing. A lot of times I carry gum with me. I know you do, Randy, for sure.
Not
Adam
as
says he
much
started
anymore.
rocking the fanny pack. Yeah, I do. There's nothing wrong with it. Any different than any other bag in my book. Ken says, question: why did you choose the fanny pack and bag you did for your stuff? Good question, Ken. Well, the fanny pack, I've been wanting a fanny pack. I've had it for, I think, a couple years now. It was just kind of a spur of the moment. We were shopping, and I've been wanting one, and I wanted a tactical one. Main reason it was tactical, exactly what I wanted, had plenty of pockets, would hold all my stuff, super cool, and it was real reasonable. I think it was definitely under 20, might have been 15. It was a killer deal. That's why I chose the fanny pack, mainly because it fit everything that I wanted to carry, my personal protection, everything, and plus some. And my Glock bag, well, it was a Father's Day gift from my beautiful wife. So, and also it was on sale. It has every pocket, everything. It carries everything plus more that I want to carry. It meets my needs. I love the color.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Coyote brown, OD green, black. Those are my three favorite military colors. I do like the digital camo, most all the camo for the military, and I'm a big Glock fan too. But it was Bass Pro had that. I got the Glock bag at Bass Pro. I think it was maybe last Father's Day or two Father's Day 2 years ago maybe, and it was really on sale, real good. So mainly those are the two reasons I chose those. They meet my needs. They had everything I wanted, and they were cheap. Good question, Adam. Oh no, I guess that was Ken's question. Sorry, Ken. Let's see here. I have an EV. Yup. I think I'm caught up on. Oh, have a camping gear pack. Yes, I definitely have a camping gear pack that's usually packed all the time with my basic camping gear. Only thing I change out is what I'm sleeping in, seasons, of course, if I need an underquilt, no underquilt, if I'm using a tent or truck camping. But my basic camping bag always has my spork and my fire starting. I'll change out my stoves. I always have my twig stove or my pellet stove in my bag. I always have my fire kit. I always have my electronics bag, my first aid kit, my knife. Um, but yeah, I do have a camping bag for sure, and it would almost be my EDC bag too, or part of my EDC, but I don't keep it in my car all the time. But it's ready at any moment's notice. I have it in my basement on my camping table, ready to go. I just have to grab it, and change out a few things, but I have everything set up in tubs and totes, and I know what's in each thing, and I can just I'm pretty organized on that aspect. I know where everything's at, have it set out, ready to just swap out things when I need to go. Let's see here. That was a good question, Herbert. Let's see here. Two guys in the Ozarks, M81 fan myself, and multicam is good. Yeah, I do like the multicam for sure. Okay, Ken, thanks for sending me that email. I'll respond to it after this video. I appreciate it. But I mean, there's so many things that, like those earbuds that I have. I mean, it doubles as a power bank. You can charge your phone or whatever on it. I mean, just I don't know. I'm a big fan of things that have multiple uses and makes my life easier. Um, when my all of our parents were sick, taking care of them and taking our rounds on taking care of my my dad's especially. I just got my earbuds and be able to listen to music when I could or use hands free. It makes a big difference. It makes my life easier. Or if you're in a noisy waiting room, I hate noisy waiting rooms, and with the noise canceling, or if you fly in an airplane and you don't want to deal with the noise, you can just put your earbuds in and put some calm music on. It's so nice.
You know,
Well, I
you
guess
mentioned the bug sprays earlier. Can't you also get like bug wipes?
yep. hmm Yeah, I was thinking about mentioning that too because I was last time I was in Bass Pro, I was looking at those. I mean that's a really good um,
Yeah, a lot
thing
less
to
space
add.
and real light.
Yep. And I think they even sell them in boxes that have individual pouches, kind of like the alcohol wipes too. So,
Yeah,
um, yeah, that is a really good option too. And even your EDC, obviously, if you work 5 days a week, is your lunchbox. I mean, even my lunchbox, I'll throw my earbuds in those or different items inside my lunchbox for work. I mean, that's your EDC as well. I mean, cash, pretty soon I feel like we're our world's turning or heading more towards a cashless society, which I'm sure it eventually will end up that way. Um, but right now, I always try to. I don't have any right now, but I mean, I always would like to have a little bit of cash with me, you know. But then again, most people shy away
you
from
know,
that because they're afraid of getting mugged.
I've been cashless for quite a while. So actually, I've been moneyless for quite a while.
Yeah, those go hand in hand. I would say for sure. Let's see here. Got a couple more questions here. Herbert says, "Do you carry a ferro rod?" Not on my EDC. Now I do have it always in my camping bag um, or my bug out bag. Um, I can't say I always have a ferro rod on my EDC for sure. I do have a lighter, Bic lighter, or my butane lighter, one of the two, or both. I rely mostly on my lighters because even if you throw a Bic lighter in the water and let it float for an hour, pick it up out of the water, blow on it, and it will light every time. So my EDC go-to fire is a Bic lighter every time. This isn't my go-to because if it gets wet, it won't work. So Bic lighter's my number one fire starter of all time. And let's see here. Matt, two guys in the Ozarks. Question 210. Do you carry a vehicle repair emergency kit? That's a good question. In our pickup, in my pickup, I have a tote that I carry with me at all times, and I've got my electrical repair kit because I'm an electrician. So I've always got my electrical tools in my truck with me usually because if I'm going to family members, I don't know how many times I've went somewhere and wish I had them. I didn't have them. I don't need to carry them, but I do. I carry jumper cables, my first aid kit, a small socket set, and then in my service bag for my electrical service bag, I have 11-in-1 screwdriver. I have some Crescent multi wrenches, and then I have nut drivers. I have a lot of tools, yes, that I can do most repairs, especially if I need to change out a battery in my truck or tighten up a bolt or nut. Yeah, I usually have plenty to do. That was a good question. And that's, I guess, is part of my EDC too, if I want to get technical. Um, jumper cables is always a must. My dad instilled in me to carry jumper cables. Or if you get a jumper pack nowadays, works the same, but jumper cables, you don't have to worry about charging it. Good question too, guys. I love talking tools. Yeah, tools are one of those things that are like knives, guns, fishing, all the toys that us guys like to have. Let's see here. Good questions. Ventures with Ken, cash. What's that? Heck, my dad told me to work until my a bank account looks like a phone number, and it does right now. 911. $9.11 in there. That's funny. That's funny. Yep. You know, a true working man is he has $9.11 in his bank account. They are Klein, aren't they? Yep, Ken, you got me on that one. But I don't always have name brand tools always. If it's good quality, I like Crescent, I like Klein, I like Greenlee. There's a lot of electrical brands. Southwire I like from Lowe's. That's a good brand. I got a lot when I worked at a supply house here in town. I got quite a few of my tools from there. I actually worked at two different supply houses, but yep. He knows electrical tools, don't he? Yeah, I mean, EDC is an awesome topic. I don't know. A lot of people get bored with it, but I love it because you can change it out. You change it out to the seasons. You change it out to your preferences, or you're like, oh, squirrel, like Tony does, and see a new awesome item that you just have to have that you can add to it or switch out. I don't know. It's this kind of like a hobby too, you know. I wouldn't say collecting. It's to me, I just don't get something that doesn't make sense. That's why my kit's been the same for years. I haven't seen anything better that I want to carry. I do have one more item that's hidden in my wallet that I got from my daughter. She was in elementary school in about fourth grade. She's 19 now, so it's one of those little flat cards, you know, that have bottle opener in it, and you can use them for tightening nuts and screwdrivers on them. One of those little credit card multi-tools. I have one of
Yeah.
those. Had that in there a long time. And
Yeah.
I have used it several times. I've always forgotten, I don't have a bottle opener. Wait a minute. But yeah. I love watching videos. I know Junkyard Fox did his a few months back, did his recent 25 EDC update. And like I said, they carry haversacks or it doesn't matter, haversack or fanny pack, backpack, but it's really cool to be able to change things out with the months. I don't carry a tarp with me in my EDC really. I'd like to get a couple military ponchos, keep one of each of those in the car because you can use those as shelter as well. So there's a few things I would like to add eventually. To me, I'm probably going to use my car as a shelter if it just breaks down. You know, I'm not going to go out and build a shelter unless car catches on fire or something, obviously. But I mean, I guess I've never put that. I usually do have like disposable, like one-time use ponchos, emergency ponchos. I do have a couple of those in my camping bag. But as far as shelter building, I really don't have any. I mean, I probably should. Small tarp. I mean,
Yeah. I think I'm gonna get off of here, man. I'm getting sleepy.
get you
Maybe
some,
that new medication they put me on, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, very, very, very highly likely that it is because a lot of medications do make you tired. But I appreciate you coming in, brother. Appreciate you and have a good night.
All right, man. You too. We'll talk to y'all later.
Okay, bud. Night.
Bye.
All right. Ken says, question, if money was no option, what new EDC item would you get and why? That's a good question. Money's no option. EDC, let's see. What EDC item would I get? Man, I really feel what I carry now suits me fine, but man, new EDC item. That's a really hard one. I'm trying to think what I don't have. Probably what I just said. Probably a lightweight, and it would probably be a military poncho. 2 military ponchos to add to my EDC would probably be my number one thing. They're not cheap, but they're a poncho. You can use them as a blanket. You can use them as put them together and make a pretty decent sized shelter. That would probably be the number one thing. I know that's not super expensive, or a bigger power bank like a Blue Eddy or EcoFlow for my vehicle. It would serve as multi purposes for my car camping, for charging equipment for every day or camping. Power bank solar panel combo, that would be a really good addition to, I think, my EDC. Would I use it every day? Not necessarily, but it would be part of my emergency preparedness or SHTF bug out situation. I think that would, those 2 items, either one. Good question, brother. Let's see here. Ken also said, can't beat a good military surplus poncho and liner. Yeah, will be liner. Yeah, great. I mean, good insulation, rain coverage, shelter. They're awesome. Why I've never gotten one yet, I don't know, but it's definitely on my list. Definitely to get a couple. Good questions. Let's see here. Herbert says, good question, Ken. For me, it would be a copy of my deed to 500 acres of private property. Or did you say money was no object? Yes. Yep. That's hilarious, but hey, yeah, that's a good idea. Ken says, got a few extra ponchos from when I was in. Email me a good email address and I'll send you one. Oh, brother, I appreciate that. Oh, yeah. I would appreciate that. If I got anything you're interested in, I don't know. I'd have to go over everything I got. I'm always up for bartering as well, and anything I have that I've got a lot extra. Which you've got a nice hammock now. I guess you don't really need extra hammock, but I always have a few extra hammocks and extra camping gear. So that's awesome, brother. I appreciate it. But yeah, man, those are good questions. That's why I like you guys coming in and the conversations that we have because, and if anybody else wants to click the link, I can post it again. Anybody wants to come in and share what they carry, come on in. I always like to hear what people carry. I know a lot of people carry the same things, but once in a while I'll see and hear things that I'm like, that's a good idea. Sometimes I swap things out. Next live gear swap. Hey, now you're talking, Adam. Next live gear swap. That ain't actually a bad idea. A lot of the YouTubers I watch, they've said in the past that when they first started their channels, all their buddies had YouTube channels and they'd all pitch in and get one item and then they would pass it around and each of them do a camp with it or a gear review, whatever. That's actually a pretty good idea, Adam. Herbert says, you're going to host that, Adam? Yeah, Adam's idea. That's a good, yep. And we can do like a trading post, old radio trading posts. I love those. Listen to those with my dad. But we could do a live trading post. See, bartering post. That's what we ought to call it. Bartering post live with Adam. There you go. Good job, Herbert. Ken also says I was a gear guy, so I acquired a lot of stuff. Ha ha ha. In the Marine Corps, we had sayings still. Strategic. I can't even say that word. Take equipment to an alter. Yeah. I mean, that's one thing I like about, I know not everybody likes Corporal Corner and a lot of these military guys on YouTube, but as long as I can learn and I love military gear and I wish I would have got to go in the military myself, but most all my family was in the military and I was around it. So, and military gear is tried and true. I mean, it lasts, it's good stuff, good quality. Not everybody likes every piece of gear, but it was used for a purpose and it meets a purpose. It may not be the purpose that every soldier needs and wants, but that's almost impossible to make any gear or have anything that every soldier would be happy with. Just like MREs, not everybody's happy with the same food. Some people love a certain MRE, some people hate them. I love them, you may hate them. So same way with the gear, all the mess kits, but military ponchos, I don't know if too many people don't like those. And if they don't like those, they're not ex-military or don't like military surplus. Let's see here. Adam, I can't believe we did not do a trade blanket or a meetup. At our meetup, yep, for sure. That's good. That's really good. Oh, well, let's see here. Tactically acquire. Yep. It's exactly what a lot of soldiers, and two, you've used the equipment. It's tried and true. It's a no-brainer to carry them because they work. I like Corporal's Corner, but I can't stand him at the same time. I love-hate relationship when I watch him. Yeah, I don't get too personal with people on YouTube. If I can learn something and they're knowledgeable, if a lot of people are arrogant, a lot of people are rude. That's our world. 90% of the world is rude and arrogant. We as human beings are prideful. Every one of us in our own is prideful in some situation. You don't have to be rude and arrogant. I agree, but if I can learn from the channel, I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to make that me not watch him. People don't watch. Oh, he's rude and arrogant. I ain't going to watch him. Well, you're missing out on a lot of education and a lot of knowledge in my books because he's very knowledgeable. Very few people are doing what he does on YouTube, but I'm not here to promote his channel. I just like it. I like to learn, and he's very knowledgeable. Let's see here. We did a free gear table at the previous meetup I went to. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I second that, Ken. Yeah, a lot of people don't like him, but I'm not here to like him. I'm here to learn, you know. So, I mean, it'd be nice to like him, but you know, he's pretty blunt. I mean, a lot of the stuff he says is true. I mean, people are trolls and all the crap on YouTube. I wish he was more personable and a little nicer, but it's just not him, you know. But like I said, I'm not here to promote his channel or not promote his channel. You know, I love military gear, and I like especially I like his military gear uh, that he uses. My poncho and whoopee I have had since 1997 when I joined. That's awesome. You know, that's definitely a personal item. You know that that's what Corporal. A lot of his stuff is from when he was in too, which is really cool. Really cool. You know, and that stuff lasts. I mean, it's why there's so many good Army surplus places, and there's so many new Army surplus places online, which is awesome because I've gotten my military sleeping bag and my bivy and different stuff from military surplus because our local military surplus that was really good here went out of business. So it's really nice to be able to go to a military surplus. I really love it, and you can use a lot of that stuff in your EDC. I like Real Big Monkey. I don't think I've that's actually a YouTube channel. I've never heard of that. I'll have to check it out. That's a good channel, Dan. Yeah, I've never watched them. I'll have to check that out for sure. See, what's this next comment? I'll look that Real Big Monkey guy up. Yep, me too, for sure. I'm always up for, especially if he does military surplus gear. I really like that. I'd like to do more. I wish I was more knowledgeable on it. I'm learning a lot more than you think I'd be more with being a military family, but I was big into camping and stuff, and I do know a lot about military surplus, but not as much as I probably should. He repurposes a lot of gear to make new gear. Well, there you go. Yeah, I've been innovative. That's why I like uh, Minnesota Mike. I mean, he's so creative in things he makes and to save money. I mean, and that's what I'm all about too. There's no sense in spending a lot of money on something if you can make something that just is good. Totally for that repurposing for sure. New venture, teaching outdoors military surplus. Hey, we could do it. I mean, we could do it for sure. I mean, if we all had endless money, like Ken said earlier, there's a lot of avenues I'm sure we'd all like to get into, especially for hobbies. Maybe not just making money, but definitely to new content. I definitely want to get, the military ponchos and do some more shelters and some camp outs and really use those items. I mean, for me, any camping gear that I get, I'm going to use. Um, Not so much all the hammocks. The thing with hammock camping is I had to go through so many hammocks to get the one that I was comfortable with and the one that I want to use. Not that I'm not going to use the rest of them here or there, for lounging hammocks or whatever, but it's kind of getting off topic, but I mean, all the stuff that you use for EDC is you can integrate any of it in EDC if it's part of your bug out bag for your shelter, like the ponchos, um, you know, blankets, water, filtration. That's something I didn't think. I always carry a cup with me or something I can put water in, but filtration would be a real easy thing, even if it's tablets or a small Sawyer filter. You could easily add that to your EDC for sure. It's all in what you want to use. I would think something like that would be in, you know, certain situations or wherever you live, or if you work in remote areas where you're driving through remote mountains in another country, or even in the Pacific Northwest, or uh, mountains of North Carolina, or anywhere desert like Junkyard Fox does. He cares a lot more than I do, because if he gets stranded in the, the Southwest heat, he's got a shelter that he can make a makeshift shelter until a tow truck, you're waiting on a tow truck, he can make a nice shelter alongside the road and get out of the sun. So I mean, there's so many options. It's just what you want to carry. I mean, no right, no wrong, like I said. You are close to Fort Leonard Wood. Yep, absolutely. I'm close to Fort Leonard Wood for sure. Welcome back, Randy. Welcome back. Yeah. Um, there's so many, my nephew, my two of my nephews were in the service. My brother, oldest brother, was in the Navy. My father was in the Air Force. My uncles were in the Army. Um, I've had several uncles in the Army. I mean, like I said, I was all surrounded by military surplus and always wanted it, but they always kept it all. And of course, and it can be expensive, but you can find it reasonably priced, and it's one of those things. Do I like military gear enough to buy it over your favorite camping gear? It just depends on what you're going to use it for. You want a canvas tent? You want a Polish Lavu canvas poncho? And you can click a couple of them together and make a nice little hot tent. Yeah, they're little. They're not any higher than a little teepee hot tent. Maybe a little bit, um, but a lot of people don't want to carry canvas because it's heavy. Um, but if you're car camping, go for it. It's going to last you forever if you take care of it. Um, I went to Fort Leonard Wood for my military police school back in 2004. That's cool, Ken. Just went right by us. Yeah, Fort Leonard Wood. We call it Fort Lost in the Woods here, is what we call it. It's out there for sure. A lot of good stealth camping out in that area. A lot of good camping out in that area, for that matter. But that's a nice area. Nice area. A lot of people. It's got some really good stories from, like Matt Ozarks Woodsman's got a pretty good story about being up in that area. And, there's a lot of good places around here in the state. It's not as like Arkansas. I love Arkansas because there's so many places outside that you can go, but you know, it is a good military place. It's like Whiteman Air Force Base up north. Let's see here. That's cool. I was on my way to the sandbox. Uh, yeah. What else does everybody carry on their EDC? I know everybody like to say the three things: wallet, keys, and phone. But anybody else want to hop on here and share what they carry, or anybody got anything different in 2004? Yeah. Let's see here. I'm in the wrong state. Yeah, Illinois. Yeah, Illinois got some lots of laws against a lot of different stuff, like New York and New Jersey, and a lot of these states that are highly restricted on different things. Yeah, and that's another thing I was going to mention about EDC too is, you know, budget gear. All my gear on my EDC is what I would call budget. You can go budget or you can go premium gear. Um, Everything I carry, I personally believe it's good quality. I mean, I'm not going to carry something like I carry a Bic lighter. Can you carry a 99 cent or 75-cent lighter? Yeah, Is it as reliable as a big glider? No, but I mean, carry what you want to carry, whatever you can afford. Don't carry anything. Tips for staying lightweight but prepared. If you want to stay lightweight, everything I got, I would say is around 5 to 6 pounds. That's lightweight, but if you want to stay lightweight, use what you put in your pockets, what's on your person. I mean, that's going to be lightweight. Get everything that'll fit. Wear cargo pants, cargo shorts, whatever will fit in your pockets. You've got plenty of pockets. What all I have in my bag will fit in cargo pants or cargo shorts. I could put all this in those. It'd be a little heavier, but I mean, I like it all in one setup, like my fanny pack or my backpack. But I mean, that's a question I didn't ask. I mean, there's a few things on my outline that I didn't really go over. The seasonal or situational items is one topic. Weather, gear, pandemic items, emergency items. I mean, we kind of touched on all that too. I mean, you can totally customize for any situation your EDC. I'm always going to gun shops. I'm always going to pawn shops. I'm always going to secondhand stores. There's always new stuff coming out that you're gonna, that would make a great item I'd like to carry. So that's one good thing about it is you can change it at will. See a Dan too many cornfields and bean fields. Yeah, definitely a lot of agriculture, and especially in the southern part of Illinois, for sure. Emergency cash, yeah. I kind of touched on that a little bit earlier, probably before you came in, Herbert. But yeah, before we go total cashless society, which I'm pretty sure our country's headed that direction eventually. But yeah, or if it comes to cashless society, bartering items like we say, sugar, coffee, tea, those things are going to be worth gold. So you could carry those in your vehicle or, in your EDC. It sounds stupid, but Band-Aids, first aid equipment, uh, Tylenol, painkillers, bug sprays, all that stuff is going to be like gold if we ever get to cashless society or SHTF or worse. Carrying things that you can barter with, in my opinion, it would be very valuable to you. Very good idea. That's a good question to get me thinking more on, Herbert. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Question. Ken has a question. If you were to upgrade one of your current EDC items, what would it be and what would you upgrade it to? That's a good question. Probably my personal protection. I might upgrade that. I'm pretty pleased. I don't talk about that because YouTube don't like those items, but I'm very happy and I love my personal protection, but there's another one that I would like to have to upgrade to. I definitely would upgrade that if money was an option or if I just want to upgrade it. Like I said, I like the size, I like the weight, I like how thin it is. Totally happy. It's totally accurate, totally reliable. I don't have to change it, but I'd like to just because there's others that would like to have better if I could afford them. But that would probably be it. Like I said, except for my multi-tool, I've had a lot of these items for several years, and there's not much else I really need to add, but definitely upgrading for sure would be my personal protection. Caught up on questions. So those was really good questions. I mean, I know there's so many items that I've thought in the past of adding, and I was sitting here trying to think. I might upgrade my flashlight, and I usually don't carry really expensive flashlights. I probably should. I always carry, and it's a personal preference for me, flashlights that either take a single AA or a single AAA battery. Main reason, size. Secondary reason, it only takes one battery. For me personally, I don't like rechargeable things. My main reason is if it's got a internal rechargeable battery I can replace, I don't mind it. But if it's rechargeable that you can't replace the battery, I don't like that, because batteries, in my opinion, are going to be, that's something you could put definitely in your SHTF. But I think you should have some replacement batteries in your vehicle, in your bug out bag, or even your EDC. At least one battery to replace this one. Because if you get in a SHTF situation and if you have a rechargeable one that's not replaceable and it goes bad, you're out of luck. Of course, your LED could go bad in any of these too, but I want a replaceable battery. That's my personal opinion. It doesn't make it any better than a rechargeable one. It's just my opinion. But like what I was saying, to hit with the batteries, is that's a huge bartering tool if we go cashless, and if a major catastrophe happens. Batteries are going to be just as important as salt or sugar, tea or coffee. They're going to be worth gold. So batteries of any kind, power banks, jumper packs for cars, that's going to be a big one. Jumper cables. Jumper cables are going to be even more so than any of those, besides batteries for personal devices. I think jumper cables would be top of the list because you don't have to charge them. They're going to work, and you can repair them real easily. You can use them for multiple things besides jumping cars. You can use them for solar. You can use them for electrical. You can use them for just about anything. So, and these are all my opinion. That it doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean it's going to be as important as I think it is, but I think it will be. Let's see here. Any other questions? One item I carry all the time, my sunglasses. I have sensitivity due to TBI, and I got in Afghanistan my second deployment. Yeah, Ken. Yeah, that is a great addition. I didn't even. That's another thing. See, I mean, I love having these discussions. Yeah, sunglasses. See, my glasses are um, transition glasses. So I mean, mine are built in. They're not exactly. They're not as dark as like polarized sunglasses, and they're not polarized. Obviously, polarized sunglasses are definitely a recommendation for if you're going to get sunglasses. But um, yeah, that is a big one too. A lot of people have light sensitivities because of, like you say, either they're just sensitive, born that way, or you've had an injury, or um, I've got a little bit of light sensitivity in one eye because I had a piece of metal in my eye when I was in construction. But I don't know if you got cataracts, you're going to be sensitive to light as well. Um, yeah, that's a really good one. Sunglasses for sure. Gloves. I didn't touch on gloves. I know Junkyard Fox. He carries gloves. That's his EDC. I probably should. A lot of times I have gloves in the car, or like rubber gloves for first aid. You'll usually have latex gloves in my first aid kit. Worst case scenario, but they're not going to be good for hot or cold items, obviously. A good pair of leather gloves or mechanics gloves would be another good option. I really didn't think of that either. Let's see here. Sunglasses and gloves. Those are two good additions. I'm glad we thought of those. Hat. Yeah, Herbert. Hat for sure. I wear a hat a lot of times. Obviously, in my videos, I don't because it shades my face, and most of the time I have a hat on if I'm outside. Ball cap, any kind of hat that you use. Like wintertime, I always have a beanie in one of my bags or my truck out in my console. I always have a beanie, extra beanie. Um, I have my inverter in my truck. Um, let's see here. Definitely hat for sure. And there's so many hats. You can rain hat. And people laugh. Hard hats are come in handy a lot of times. When I drove a tractor for a company uh, pulling trailers. I bought a hard hat with the bill all the way around it. It uses worked really good for a rain hat. When it rained, it was really nice. So worked out great. And obviously it protects your head. Thanks for stopping by, Adam. I appreciate it. Appreciate all your input and ideas, but all laughing aside and being serious, those are good ideas of channels to do on our channel. So you might think about it. Have a good night, brother. Yeah, I appreciate it. How long we been in on this? Let me see. Coming up on 2 hours. Yeah, I'll probably call this at the 2 hour mark. That's my goal, is not to go too far over 2 hours on my lives. I know it's kind of late and a lot of people have to get up early. So I'm going to try to be adamant on stopping around the 2 hour mark. So if anybody else wants to hop in at the last minute, more than welcome to come in and share your EDC that you carry. Hey, Mr. Frosty, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Appreciate if everybody gives me a thumbs up. Thank you. Thanks for coming in and spending some time with me tonight, talking EDC. It's been some really good conversations, a lot of good questions, a lot of good ideas that I didn't think about. I'm trying to think of others. The battery is one that I thought of, but I just didn't get in my outline and didn't think to touch on again. There's so many things that you just don't think about. Yeah, we're having a good stream, Mr. Frosty. Appreciate it. Threw you a like as soon as I appreciate that, brother. I really do. Yeah, it's what do you carry for your EDC, Mr. Frosty? We like I said, went over all my personal EDC and everybody shared a lot. If you have time, you can go back and watch the video after it's over. I got all my EDC put back up in my bag, but EDC's, definitely personal to each one of us. I don't know what you heard and what you didn't hear, but, people say don't carry EDC, but you have your wallet, your keys, and your phone usually. And to me, EDC's what you personally want to carry and what you feel is going to better your day and better your everyday carry. Like it's customizable for each individual. So I think this would be a good video for others to go back on and get ideas from. There's so many YouTube channels out there I could mention. I might list a bunch of them and link their actual EDC videos in my description box after this video. I think that'd be real helpful and help other channels out, give them shouts out. And some of my favorite EDC videos, I'll probably link in the description. So you guys can come back later and check out those. I'll put some of my favorite ones and some of my favorite military surplus gear videos, I think. There's a lot of good information that I think is very helpful for other people, and we can all, learn from. Let's see. Good night, Adam. Let's see. Mr. Frosty says, I carry Milwaukee drill because the battery can jumpstart a car. The drill it's mainly useful a lot of ways. Yeah, that's a good idea. Kind of go along that lines. My drill kit set that I have, and I think Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken, has the same thing. But for the batteries for your drill, I use for camping or car camping. It has a USB adapter that slips on the battery, and you can charge all your use it as a battery bank, of course, and charge all your um, electronics. So yeah, and you can. I have seen those videos. You can jumpstart cars with them, and yeah, you can do a lot of things with that. That is a good idea. Real good idea. I do usually in my tote that I carry in my truck. I usually have a drill and a impact drill as well. So I usually have a couple batteries too. Referring to the drill battery. Yep. Let's see here. Carrying a bottle of rubbing alcohol is always a good have. Yeah, lots of fire accelerant, obviously, disinfectant, cleaning cuts, cleaning residue, uh, tape residue. It works good for that. Million different uses for alcohol. It stain remover. A lot of different things you can use alcohol for sure. That's a good one. It's a real good idea. Herbert says I actually carry a fidget spinner everywhere. It's a squirrel thing. Yeah, yeah, it's a really good idea, especially, all kidding aside and getting serious about the fidget spinners. If you have, and maybe that's for doctor's offices or different things, but if you have autistic children or kids that have attention deficit, problems or whatever, attention issues, those things are things that you really need to carry on your EDC, especially as a mother or whatever, small children. Uh, I don't always like to say your cell phone. Obviously, you have your cell phones, but everybody's on their cell phones too much, in my opinion. Anyways, I don't like parents just handing a cell phone for the kid to watch TV or whatever. I think a fidget spinner or um, small toys that kids can play with, you get your hands on your visual stimulation and physical stimulation for kids. I think that's a great idea instead of just throwing them your cell phone. Throw them a fidget spinner, throw them a little puzzle, or some of the older toys that we grew up with, or um, get back into dolls or for little girls and cars for little boys, and yeah, that's a good idea. Real good idea. That goes for adults and children. If you get bored real easy, crap hits the fan, the deck of cards would come in really handy. Your cell phone, I mean, if you get in a situation where you can't charge your cell phone, you don't have any entertainment. Entertainment's, that's why I like pocket knives. You can whittle with them, you can carve with them, you can prep food with them, you can do repairs with them, process game, million ways to use knives, uh, and it's an entertainment. Fire's an entertainment, and to save your life, to keep you warm, purify your water. There's lots of different ways to entertain yourself when there's no electronics, in that type of situation. So that's actually pretty cool. They've make those adapters. Yeah, yeah, I seen that and I was like, man, I grabbed that. I know Harbor Freight for their Bauer um, drills and stuff. They have that USB adapter. It slips right on top of your batteries. I think Milwaukee and DeWalt has it. Um, Ryobi, I believe, has them. Pretty much all the main companies, I think, do make something similar. Pretty good idea, real good idea, because everybody has some drills. I noticed the other day they have like up to 12 amp hour battery pack now for the drills. That's insane. So awesome. Get a couple of those 12 amp hour batteries and you can charge a lot of devices off those. Two guys playing cards in my camping bag. Yep. Yep. Playing cards are awesome. Craftsman. Yep. Craftsman. That's a good brand to get too. Yep. I think they all pretty much do now. It's a really good idea. Super good idea. Yeah. Playing cards. I mean, we used to keep those in our camping tote when I was growing up, and a lot of little games and little like what was that? There was a game. I don't remember what they called it. I think they have it on the tables at Cracker Barrels. Those little peg games. I forget what that's called. That's a really cool little game to have for kids. When we loved playing it when we was growing up. Small games, small things. Marbles. Kids love marbles. I loved marbles when I was a kid. You can use them with your slingshot. Jumping jacks. I mean, nobody plays with jacks anymore. Lots of little hand-eye coordination games for kids that a lot of good conversation, a lot of good ideas. I appreciate all the input, guys. Looks like we've reached the 2-hour mark, and I'm gonna stay true to my 2 hours. If you guys can think of anything else you want to add to it, just drop them in the comments after the video. I appreciate everybody's time. I appreciate everybody coming in, and good feedback, good conversation. I thank you. I appreciate it. And I don't know what the live will be next week. I guess I'll think about it, and I'll let everybody know. I'll post it soon enough so we can get going. I might have a guest. I don't know yet. I know Shug said he would do another. I had him scheduled, but before I had to drop out. So I'm going to get Shug back in here and get another advanced hammock camping live from him. So he was gracious enough to say he would come back and do one with me. So I'm going to get him in here soon, hopefully. So I appreciate you guys. Hey, Foothills. I'm about ready to head out. Yeah, you almost missed me. I appreciate you stopping in. If you wouldn't mind, give me a like still, and maybe go back and listen up and add on the comments what everybody wants to add. I mean, I know everybody thinks later, oh, I wish I would have said this. Just drop it in the comments. I think it was a really good one to go back and listen to. A lot of good ideas. A lot of people, a couple people came in and shared what their EDC was, but I do appreciate you all stopping by. Good night, Matt. Good night, Foothills. Good night, Ken. Good night, Herbert. Good night, Mr. Frosty, if you're still here. I believe I don't know if Woodsman is still in here. Good night, Woodsman, if you're in here. If not, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, like I said, Foothills, for stopping by. I really do. But I think I'm going to call it here. And I will see each and every one of you next Monday, good Lord willing. And appreciate the support, appreciate the thumbs up. And I will see you next Monday. God bless everybody. Good night.